Sometimes I sit back and I wonder what type of stats do these devs be looking at to justify the changes that they be making to this game, because at a certain point I'm getting lost. Because I have my fair share of bad devs when it comes to online video games like Marvel Rivals and Apex Legends. But when it comes to DBD, I have never seen this level of hand holding and pampering a day before in my life with any video game. And honestly, it's almost like a disease because it's almost every single game company is out here doing the same thing. And it's to a point to where you can't even escape it. And what is that, you may ask? Pampering the bad players. See, I never really seen the purpose in balancing a game based on people that don't really want to learn your game, but apparently it seems like game developers have a hard on for that shit. Because it seems like everywhere I look, whenever the patch notes come out, there's always something in the patch notes that tries to bridge the gap between higher skill players and lower skill players, and I never really understood the reason why. Oh, it's for the newer players so they don't have a bad time. Bitch, you don't think I know that? Isn't that why there's skill-based matchmaking in this game? You know, the party game that has the skill-based matchmaking in it, right? It's almost like they're saying these opinions because it's code, not because they really believe in these opinions, just because it's like the right thing to say or something. But it's not even just DBD, it's the whole gaming industry to where they're just adding bullshit mechanics to try and bridge the gap between someone that actually plays it versus someone that doesn't.
Oh, what's wrong with them adding mechanic in the game that helps newer players?
See, often it's never really just the mechanic that is just a sole purpose is to help newer players. It's either a mechanic in the game that does something for you automatically, or B, something that's easily exploitable. I hate to sound like a 20-year-old boomer, but back in my day that was not the case. Back in the golden days, you either got shit on or get better, no in between. And I hate the fact that majority of the gaming industry has abandoned this idea. I don't know where or why we got this mentality that everyone needs to be a winner and everyone needs to win a trophy. It's gotten so bad that this type of tactic is leaking into more competitive games that really shouldn't have a mechanic like this. And honestly, I blame little Timmy. And the reason why I say that is because a majority of these games that are doing this is majority shooters or just an M-rated game, right? But they're doing it for players that are under the age of like 17, which makes no sense to me. Now apply that to DBD, an M-rated video game, by the way. How is this a video game for mature minds with perks like Windows of Opportunity, Dead Hard, and Sprint Burst? These type of perks like to promote a act first, think later type of playstyle. And how does that playstyle have a place in a game to where you're supposed to be using your mind to outplay the other player? Especially when this game takes no skill. It takes no mechanics in this game to do good. All it takes is repetition, honestly. Just playing the same maps over and over and running the same loops over and over. And it really makes you think, how much easier can these devs make this game? And mind you, I only have 30 hours on this game, and the matchmaking keeps putting me against 3-man teams every game. But best believe they can make it easier. Introducing cross-examination, a perk where while you're in a killer's terror radius, the killer leaves light marks on the ground. I know, right? But that's not all, because whenever a survivor follows those markings, they are granted elusiveness. You know, just for having 2 hands on the controller. If you don't know what elusiveness is, it's basically every stealth bonus in the game. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why this is completely broken and shouldn't be added in the game. But the best part is that the perk doesn't even work right. Yeah, apparently the part where you have to follow the trail, yeah, that's cap. You don't have to do that. To get the perk to activate, all you have to do is just brush against the killer or be on the story above the killer and it will activate automatically. Hey, us versus them, right? It's not only a slap in the face to all killers, it's also a 12 gauge slug to the lower tier ones. Seriously, how is Ghostface supposed to compete with this when it seems like the survivors have more powers than him? They need to gut that perk altogether because it just doesn't have a place in the game to where you're the killer but you're the one being tracked. Like, imagine being a badass killer like Michael Myers, but you're being tracked by Ling Fling in her outdated COVID mask. It's almost like these devs want these survivors to be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on their own, which is ridiculous. With like 50 pallets on each map, like Pokemon, they gotta use them all. But that's not the only perk that they got. That was just the main one that kind of stood out to me. They got like 2 other solid perks that I can see being very helpful in like any build that you have for a survivor, right? wide open throttle, gives you haste, resets the pallet, lend a hand, a healing buff for your other teammates. Pretty solid perks, right? Now with that being said, let's look at the killer side. Hex, scared to death. After hooking 3 different survivors, okay bro, we gotta stop this. I really do not understand why every single time I look at a Hex perk, you have to find out the meaning of life to get that shit to activate, and it only lasts like 60 seconds and it only activates 1 time per match. But let me continue. After you hook 3 survivors, a dull totem ignites. While chasing a survivor, whenever you basic break a pallet, survivors within 13 meters scream and gain hindered for 3 seconds. Now let me ask you, who in the right mind is equipping that weak ass perk? Not only is the effect minuscule, I also have to get my CDL just for it to activate. Now when you compare that to the survivors, it's kind of night and day. I mean, just looking at these perks, Silent Shadow. When the trial begins, you go undetected for 13 seconds or until you down a survivor. I mean, let's be real, who's downing a survivor in 13 seconds? If you can down a survivor in 13 seconds, I promise you, you did not need that perk. And Rampage, whenever you basic break a pallet or a breakable wall, you earn 1 token up to 13. When you are blinded or stunned, for 13 seconds you gain 1% haste. Cooldown 30 seconds? You see what I'm talking about when it comes to these perks? Where Killer keeps getting these very niche perks that don't really serve a real purpose, while these survivors get the touch of Jesus for hitting a good skill check. And I'm not trying to say that these perks ain't healthy for the game or anything, except for cross-examination. Please take that shit out the game. But what I'm saying is that I want some balance on both sides. Like, if you're gonna give survivors a crazy perk, at least give killers a crazy perk too. Because whenever devs tend to do things like this, all it tends to do is just divide the community even more. They make a change to try to improve the state of the game, but all it does is make it worse. But at this point, I don't even know what DBD's vision is anymore. It's supposed to be like a horror film, hide and seek type of game, but they gave the survivors a 12 gauge and like military training, I guess. But oh look, Jason, whoopee! Mind you, I'm not trying to act like I'm the biggest Jason fan. I mean, I watched a couple of his movies back in the day, and when I heard that he was coming to DBD, I was actually pretty excited because I was like, oh boy, we finna get like a big bruiser type character. You know, that's just like fuck everything, I'm walking through everything. But we did not get that. My guy throws a harpoon. And it's so sad because when you think of Jason, you think of literally walking through walls to get to your target. Like, I would have thought he would have got a special ability to where he can like walk through pallets once he reaches that certain stage or something like that. But we got none of that. My boy is a ranged killer. Like, imagine how the OGs is gonna feel, the OG fans, when they find out that his power is a fucking spear. It's almost like a slap in the face, but I can't speak for the true Jason fans because I haven't watched all his movies. So I can't tell you if it's a success or not. But what I can tell you is, if I came new to the game and I seen Jason was in the game and I found out his power was a spear, I would be severely disappointed if I was a Jason fan, a hardcore Jason fan. And it really makes you think, what movies were they watching to where they think that Jason is a ranged killer? Again, I can't speak for the true Jason fans, but if I was a true Jason fan, this would be a major letdown for me, personally. But hey, new skins, right? I mean, the skins is cool. I mean, I feel like that you need like a specific taste for them, right? But they're very solid. And that's pretty much my thoughts for this video. I mean, I just wanted to state my thoughts when it comes to adding this brain dead shit in the game. Basically just allowing the game to play it for you. You know, like, let's bring back using our brains, you know. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Like if you liked, don't if you don't, subscribe if you're new. Peace.